Good day, hip hop. Welcome to HipPoppington with Kim, and crew.
What's up, y'all? HipPoppington, where we created a space where we talk about the legends in hip hop from day one. And we just want to bring everybody in on the culture. So we created that space, me and Kim. So we got two Kims in the crew.
Facts.
And today we have a legend, a legendary icon. And Kim, you are close with him, so I'm going to let you do the intro because y'all are real cool.
This is Jaz-O, the creator, the originator, like it don't none greater. Like at the end of the day, if you don't know who this man is, you got to Google him. And I'm so happy that you're here today because it's like we just started this podcast and it was like we knew that we wanted a space where it was that, we could just bring the youth back into the understanding of why all this, whatever this beef is we got going on, we really don't got no beef, but it's like under the, undercut, under the belly beef, beef. Just to say, this is where the culture started. There's some elements to this culture, and it's hip hop, it's MCing, it's so many different elements in this culture. We know how much this culture has grown, but to start with an MC and for you to be here is like, I ain't speechless. But
for those of you that don't know, there are elements of hip hop.
Yeah.
And one of them is DJing. It's not just being a song selector, but actually bringing in the mix. They had
turntables, Technique 12s.
Before there was all this push a button and do whatever. Is like you really had to like go dig in the crates or whatever. So we could do that when we have the DJ. But MCing is another part. The most important part for some, even though DJing kind of started it, the MC came in to kind of just lace that track that's dropped
the words
by the DJ.
And we got
one of the creme de la creme of MCing. The style is crazy. I mean, from fast to slow, and behind that is coming some real like knowledge.
I think you epitome, of what hip hop is and what the MC represents. Like if we want to talk about how the MC brings you into a conversation or how the MC got punchlines or everything that's fresh and dope that created this whole MC is like, this is, to me, you're the upper echelon.
Yes, absolutely. And well, we're going to let you talk because I could talk about you all day.
Yeah.
But since we have you here, we'll get it straight from you.
Okay.
Like what makes you the MC? Like what is an MC?
Well, first off, I'm glad to be here. And I feel it an honor to be here at your first podcast. It's a beautiful thing. Also, I feel the magic because if anyone knows anything about Egyptology, this is the Osirian realm. And this is the sort of a pictograph of Osiris. Osiris is surrounded on both sides by two of his mates. I'm not trying to,
No, but I don't want to cut you off. But see, just when you just kicking that knowledge right there, like that's how hip hop was created. Like we should just be just mesmerized by just the conversation of like where you was at and where and the places and the spaces you was at and how you was able to just bring that thing so flowetry like across the page. It was like, what's that conversation? Like that's the hip hop that
to take that information in and communicate it. That's a gift.
I appreciate it. So I guess to get to the question, what makes an MC to me is first and foremost yourself. Because I mean, of course, in the industry, due to the pressures of commercialism and everything else, you find that it's so difficult for an individual to be themselves. They have to mold themselves into what came before them that was commercially successful in order to be successful. I think, and I tell cats all the time, like they ask me questions, my answer is always stick to your guns.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stick to your guns. I mean, we can go outside of hip hop and look at Prince.
Right.
Prince stuck to his guns and look at his success.
Right.
And a lot of other icons, they didn't say like, oh, I'm gonna sound like such and such and I'm gonna be all right. They said, nah, I'm gonna take a step out. This is me. I hear myself. I'm a realist. I feel that what I bring to the table is something special and something unique, and I'm going to run with it. They're going to like it or they not. It still excites me, and that's the number one prerogative, being an MC.
Initially was one of the things that you had to be who you were to even stand out in hip-hop initially. Because, I mean, to me, coming from Jersey, I know Brooklyn was like the epitome. I mean, the Bronx came out, and then Queens, they had their thing going on. But as soon as Brooklyn stepped on the scene, like, really hard, that was it.
But it's diversity. It's like, even though we all was in the projects at some point, it was like that ain't my projects. Like I'm not in
Right.
Marcy, you know what I mean? I
Right.
might be in the 40s, you know what I mean? If I'm not in the 40s, you know what I mean? Like, it's like we all don't got the same pissy hallways, but y'all somehow find a way to still give that story differently, you know what I mean? So I'm just
Right.
confused about how we all today, the story's the same, you know what I mean? And for hip hop, it's like we gave a message regardless whether we made you dance or cry. It was your truth or your pain, and like, where is that at, you know? And we was talking about, you know, like ghostwriters, like what you feel about, you know, this whole, you know, I don't even want to get into ghostwriters to the point that somebody just don't totally write their rhymes, but you know, as an MC,
yeah.
you done wrote some rhymes before for somebody and nobody knows you wrote them, you know?
Yeah, but you know, for business, it's one thing, but we talking about MCing.
Quest.
MCing is a totally different realm, and for MCing, that's like
A
that's a
no.
cardinal sin.
Right.
That's like
Amen.
Like what's like, it's like, let me just get a big stamp of what's wrong with you, and stamp it on your forehead.
Right.
If you taking rhymes from somebody else and you label yourself an MC.
Correct.
You know,
Right.
it's just
Like
So
there's
no
songs and songs upon songs about
Yeah.
people that did that.
Yes.
And you got called out on the record for doing that. Your
Yeah.
career could have been over.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what kept hip hop
But today
alive.
it's business.
Right. It
And
was-
that's
it
a
was
dope
very
record. Let me
ground
have it.
roots.
You'll sound better on it. It'll sell better with me. That's the business aspect. If we talking about the culture itself as the MC, that's a no.
So let me ask you a question. When did you first realize that was your calling? And I'm gonna tie it into me wanting to know about your lifestyle and how the black empowerment
Influenced your rhymes.
influenced your rhymes.
I just felt music in general was my calling, because I mean I played the drums as a youth, and you know, my mom and pop, they always bought me guitars. I never really learned how to play, but I knew how to play some things, but I just did what I wanted to do. It was just something to pass the time away. But you know, singing at one time, and then it was really about music, because my family, they were music oriented. Like I got uncles that are accomplished,
All right.
you know, piano players and guitarists, and it was just I guess it was partially genetics, and partially the fact that my mom and pops, they had such a diverse collection of music.
Yeah.
You know, from Chick Corea to Deodata to the Platters to, you know, Chuck Berry to the Four Tops. I mean, everything.
Music.
Yeah. You know, to Beethoven.
Right.
Wow.
You know, everything. So I started, you know, in my head, when I listened to music, for some reason, like I could separate all the instruments in my head.
Wow.
And I could tell what everything is doing individually, even before I knew the name of the instrument. So it was really about music. But we used to bring the music out in Marcy, and it was this DJ, his name was Frankie D, his partner was Tony G. They were like the main ones who always brought the music out in Marcy. So one time this cat, Eric Oliver, you know, he's passed away now. I don't like to say rest in peace and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But, he was like, yo, I bet you could do that. I said, do what? He said, rhyme. So I wrote an 8-bar rhyme. And he was like, yo, you sound good. So, you know, my head, you know, so it encouraged me to write more and more. I started writing more and more. And, you know, I did need, and that's the one thing. I don't want to ever hear any cat that rhymes, whether he deems himself an MC or whatever you want to call it, to say that everything that they ever did always came from them. You needed a template.
No question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And my template was Grandmaster Caz. When I heard Caz,
Right.
it was like, that's the level, you know what I'm saying? That's the level I want to reach, and beyond if possible, you know, because of his vocal projection. It was just things that I, like intangibles that it almost has no place nowadays.
Right. I was going to say that.
Today,
right.
you know, you got auto-tune and everything else.
So
is
the
doubling,
things that
tripling your
enhanced
vocals.
your vocals, the things that they do now digitally, back then you had to be able to do on your own. Like the things that we had then, it was just like we didn't have that technology. So you had the tone of your voice, the projection
Your
of your
delivery
voice,
was
the
on you.
tone, your delivery, it was all on you. And in
Right.
order to make yourself stand out from everybody else, you had a different voice and you had a different flow. You flipped words so quickly. Like it would just boggle my mind. Like how is he doing that? And how is he staying on? And that was something that I think that later on the people that had that flow kind of tried to master it.
They emulated it, correct?
They definitely emulated yours. Absolutely.
But again, that's the beauty of hip hop. Like this is this friendly competition. You know what I mean? Like no one. You just trying to be better than the other, especially when you're in partnerships. Like I heard Nori tell my brother and them, like, oh, you know, we wanted to be y'all, and somebody else wanted to be y'all. Like if you didn't have anybody to aspire to be like, then you wasn't really even honing in on what an MC was. I had to find somebody. When I was at home and I wanted to battle, it was like, she trash, I'm about to go write something over her, because and if she didn't exist, then I wouldn't have wanted to write. You know what I mean? If he didn't exist, then they wouldn't have wanted to write to be better than him. Today it's like, well, who's the MC that I want to outdo? No, it's more about who's
who's gonna have the most followers.
Yeah.
Who got more money? And
the
because
basis
that's
of it
what
is just what's the MC. And even though we spoke about it and we went kind of lengthy, but it's like there's some little elements that say the MC has to be this, and that. And
there
like
has
for
to
you,
be.
what is that?
It has to be established. What is that? Yeah.
Basically, to me, the MC is, like I said, is someone who projects from their heart, and whatever they witness, whatever they talk about, the ability to articulate it to where you can capture the attention of somebody or everybody. And in that sense, it means that it has to be rhythmic.
Right.
Your vocal projection has to be in a tone where people can feel your sincerity.
Okay.
You know, because you can read stuff off a piece of paper, and people can tell whether you're reading off a piece of paper and you coming from the heart, or you just coming from the heart.
Right.
You know,
Right. And I think
difference.
that's what, you know, people always say, we don't appreciate the younger people and we need to give them a chance. It's like, it's not that. But if you're not coming with any of that, you're not giving me anything. You know what I mean? Like I don't care that people follow you.
No.
I don't care what corporate person you have sponsoring you. I don't care.
We're holding this culture called hip hop sacred.
Right.
You can be anything else you want to be. You can call yourself anything else, but when you call yourself hip hop, we got standards in this game, and you have to say you're this and that, or you just can't be hip hop. You could be dance rap, you can be trap, you could be dirty, you could be anything else. But this right here is so that we can show you that if you're not being this, and this is all these elements that come underneath that, then you cannot be hip hop. You got to get outside this box that everybody keep putting you in and calling you us, or you know, this MC right here, and you're not. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying we need to bring back our culture.
Everything, because
we gotta reverse this history before we lose it.
Right.
And know what this was. Because
I mean,
we're
you guys
be
don't
100-something years going, oh, where did hip hop start with? What happened?
Because this is what happened, and I don't know if people remember this or not. Because some people might not have been old enough to remember this, or might not have been mentally aware of this. You don't know how close we got to losing hip hop when Biggie and Pac died. Right. You don't know how much of a political influence and how much the cops and how much the government got so deeply involved with hip hop. Once they realized how much money and how much of an influence that this culture had, they started to get more involved, and they use it as a tool. And it was being used as a tool. When you used it as a tool, you brought so much knowledge and information and black empowerment to me as a younger person back then. Not much younger, but you know, even just it just made me, like I always tell you, and like I tell like the grassroots dudes from Brooklyn, like the Duck Down dudes and all them, like you guys were so authentically Brooklyn. It made me want to go to Brooklyn. Like, what is going on in Brooklyn? You know what I mean? When I heard about the community that y'all lived in and that y'all started and that y'all had going on, and they told me, and it's good pizza, and it's like black people are flocking to this place. Whole wheat pizza. And I mean, tell us about that and how that influenced you in your rhymes, and how that, you know, information you wanted to bring out to the world.
I mean, on a level of, and not to sound egotistical, but on a level of talent or what have you, did not play a part. But on the level of me just seeing things in a different light, and for the most part, I know it sounds.
Speak from your heart.
No, speak
Say
from
what
your
you gotta
heart.
say. Don't
Yeah.
hold nothing back.
I was in search for God, and a lot of people might look at it funny, but when I found what people see as God, I ended up finding myself.
Right.
Correct.
And once everybody really searches, if they're honest with themselves, that's what they will find. So, in essence, being that, and I'm not saying I'm some mystical thing in
No
the
question.
sky and all of that. What I'm saying is, once you find that, then you realize that you're responsible for your station in life. Meaning that if I want to learn something, first I had to realize in what they call self-realization that everything is knowable. You know, they try to hit you with this bullshit about, you know, certain things that you can't know, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Everything is knowable. You just got to know how to search, and by nature and outside of nature, you will find everything that you search for. You just have to self-realize.
This is why this is school.
So
This is
Right.
why we teach.
Yeah,
This is why we bring on these legends, you know what I mean, so they could just drop this knowledge. And because we're we're so large in the game, like hip hop has grown so big. Who would imagine that, you know, we would have made billionaires of our own? Cause
We've surpassed rock and roll as the most
we're
influential.
The only genre
Yeah.
of music who has influenced the entire world.
Yeah, and we need to own
The
it.
entire world. Exactly.
So who do you like that's doing it now that you think is
an MC.
Is an MC that bring
Today.
all those parts of MCing that are important to you to the game?
If you don't have
I mean,
any,
I'll
that's
have
fine.
to reach back for the most part, but some of the stuff that I hear cats by accident. Nah, for real, and there's no
Yeah.
disrespect
Me too.
to
No, I get
anybody,
that. Right.
Yeah.
You know, cause I mean, I'm gonna keep it funky. It was whack niggas back.
Yeah, no,
There you go.
absolutely. Yeah.
It was whack niggas
Yeah.
used
Yeah.
to laugh at every time they put
Right.
out a record.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, this nigga put another record out. Like, who's
And we
doing
don't want
this
to
shit?
pretend
Shit
like
the
we was just
A&R.
everything and
You know
everything
what I'm
came
saying?
out good.
No,
you know what I
absolutely
mean?
not. We had mumble rappers.
Yes.
We had people that wasn't
That's
talking
why
about
I say
nothing.
we can't keep. That's why we have to. That's why this conversation is having, because the bashing that goes on is like, we didn't like such and such at a point in time too. We thought that was weird. We thought, well, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? We thought your dance records was like, oh, he's just making a dance record. That's a one hit wonder. You know, like we had.
And they're still going to this day
Yeah.
still.
Right. I like.
I just want to preserve the fact that this culture called hip hop, you cannot come inside unless you're doing certain things that you're supposed to do, or else we're gonna forget that this thing called hip hop is hip hop.
True.
So we always like to give homework as a takeaway.
Yes.
As an MC, is with your legacy, and I know we're going to talk about that next, but what you're doing now. But what's the homework? What do you want people to research as an MC? What do you think people need to know? Just a core hip hop fact that you think people
Do the
need to know.
knowledge.
MCing or hip hop in general?
Well, we're going to do
MCing.
MCing.
Okay. I would say poetic license. And poetic license is something that I learned in elementary school, and of course, it contains what people call metaphors. What is literacy, like onomatopoeia. You know what I'm saying? Entendres, double entendres, triple entendres.
Mm-hmm.
So
Look that up.
So I think those
Word.
are important. You know, double entendres when you say one thing and
You
just-
mean it
Yeah, it means something.
So
means
that's
almost-
like
it means
Lil
two
Wayne
different
used.
things.
Is that what Lil Wayne and like all them do? Is that what that's called?
Kinda,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in a more simpler way. You know what I mean?
Right,
I
okay.
even though it's good, I still like it very complex for me to have to rewind
Right.
and
I
go,
want
what
you to make me
did
think
they
about
just
something.
say?
Make me run.
What
and,
was
and
that?
Go read and learn something.
Woo.
Yeah, and I mean it's just like sacred writings. Like it'll have the understanding,
Yeah.
and it'll have the overstanding. Like the understanding to be something that the quote unquote layman will get, and then the overstanding is the hidden meaning behind it. And that also is a double entendre.
Yeah, Nas always used that term overstanding.
Yeah. So now I know I went and
Excuse me.
we went and looked and checked out some of the new stuff that you've done, the most recent stuff that you've done, and you have not missed a beat. Like I felt like I was like, what? Like, for real, I was like,
Every
really?
time I hear it, I call
Why-
people on the phone. I
we
say,
need
"Yo,
you-
this dude is."
What are you doing now? And look, we need you to do something now. We need more of you out here because I need to hear more of that.
I'm working on an album, so yeah, because I see the same thing, and I think the climate
It's
is
right.
is
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's time, and you know, everybody I talk to, they say the same thing, you know, and hey, it ain't, you know, it's nothing that complex, you know, all of this stuff about, you know, I watch these people with the preparation for an album and
Yeah.
I gotta have one of these songs. I gotta
No.
have a
Yeah.
No.
do how the fuck I feel.
Yes, correct.
It be 8 songs in that same
Right.
realm, and that's what it's gonna be. You gonna listen to it or you ain't.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Right.
I'm really getting my jollies off.
That's right.
Right.
That's the main.
That's what
thing.
it was
That's
about.
what's missing.
Concept
Yeah.
of being an MC is like, if I don't get off on my own shit, then you ain't gonna hear it.
Right.
It's the same thing with me and the drum machine. You know what I'm saying? Like when I put a beat together, if I don't like it, nobody's gonna hear it because I'm gonna turn that shit off. Everything's gonna delete.
Right. So so as far as doing production, who do you think is a dope producer? I mean, who's one of your favorite besides yourself and producing? Who do you think is the best right
There's
now?
a few. I wouldn't say the best, but and right now, like I'm not even familiar with those cats to be honest with you. And again, that's no disrespect. I just don't listen. I don't listen to my own shit, and I don't listen to a lot of other cat shit. But the stuff that I hear, you know, like I'm still a Pete Rock fan.
What?
I'm still
Me too.
Emo fan.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I still listen to that, and I'm telling you, I'm just rediscovering
Extra P,
stuff.
Large Professor.
Right.
Crazy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So where can we find you on social media? Do you follow? Do you use it a lot? You have to use it a lot. I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm on there. So,
You gotta-
like, using it a lot and some other shit, but I'm on there.
We do got to, even though we may not embrace it all, but we do really got to keep up with technology and things.
Yeah,
you know, because now you're able to reach such a vast, you know, people that we wasn't anymore. You know what I mean? So you got to put your networks out there, let people know where you are, because you know, we're on here and we're saying, yo, this is who you are, but like the world has to find out, like, okay, I missed that, you know, especially the youth, like I missed that. So we trying to bring them back to, let's go back to go see your veterans. Let's go back to show you the face
Check
of the
them out
people
and
who,
get some
the
ideas.
reason why
Use
you're
that.
here, because I know when I was a young girl, they don't even know the backs that they walk on, because when we didn't listen to rap. Rap didn't come on till
We
12
didn't
o'clock
know.
in the morning.
Right. Yeah,
You had to wait
We had to
until
tape
the
it.
radio came on and play rap music.
We had to
They
tape
listening
it.
to rap music like this
Yeah.
stuff is regular. It's the same way like the people who fought for us, like we fought for y'all, you know what I mean? And these are
Right.
the people who did it.
Right.
So, you know, it's got to be paid homage, and you got to know where you come from, and you got to know the backs you stand on before you get into these arguments with these veterans
And don't
say,
sell it. I
you know,
just don't
ignorant
want,
things.
I don't want it to be sold.
Right.
Was there a point, and I could ask both of y'all this, because when did you feel like the shift? Like, oh, damn, they going to fuck it up for everybody, and hip-hop is going to be some bullshit if we don't get a hold of it. I felt it a long time ago. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I felt it in the 90s. When everybody was screaming all these designer names, and
I mean,
and they wasn't
we can
giving them
say
no
we
money.
felt it. When Puff came in, you know what I mean, and
He-
it was a lot
he
of glitz
changed
and
it.
glamour,
Yeah,
you know, and it was like, yo, what is this?
More importantly, he was an indication that money moved everything.
No question.
Yeah.
You
No question.
Because, I mean, I'm gonna keep it funky. Like I used to play ball in Kingston Park in Brooklyn, and I was leaving the park one day, and this young boy said, "Yo, Puff is the best rapper in the world."
Oh, no.
I was like,
We just need people to influence and
Puff know he ain't.
yes, right.
So, but it's just one of those things, and it should have given people a greater understanding of what was going on.
Right.
Being that if you had enough money and enough political leverage,
Correct.
then you can make shit pop for yourself. And that's what's going on
Today.
But we have to
Definitely
make
today.
sure that, you know, we get a hold of that real quick, because you don't want politics to get too deep involved. You got to support grassroots people and people that are doing their own stuff. And where can they follow you at on like social media?
Facebook is my band page is Jaz-O, Jaz-O. Or you could go to Facebook, Jonathan Jaz-O Burks, and
Instagram.
Instagram is True Jaz-O, Real Jaz-O. Twitter, The Real Jaz-O.
And after you see this, y'all hit up every social media he
Yes,
just
follow
mentioned.
him,
And tell him
follow
where that
him,
music
follow
at? Where that
him.
music at? Where that music at?
Right, we gonna
Hashtag,
make him do
where
it.
that music
We gonna
at? Where
make
that
him do
music
it.
at?
It's coming.
So follow me on Instagram at Chocolate Girl Wonder. There's no I because I couldn't fit it. So it's Chocolate GRL Wonder.
And I'm K Sermon, Kaye. Is it an underscore Sermon?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kaye
just-
underscore
just look
Sermon.
for Pretty Black.
But she's not gonna talk back to you. She's gonna ignore you. But you
I just
can
like
follow me.
followers. I just like to see people follow me. I'll be like, oh, I got
But
some new
she's not gonna
followers.
ever talk back to
I
you.
make
'Cause she don't
people-
even talk back to me.
I'm a follow junkie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to go to the studio at like 5:00 and say, could you hashtag and say people to follow me to anybody who I know who got a lot of followers.
I don't ever put hashtags because hashtags makes
Cause
weirdos
them
come
followers
to your
get
page.
money, ain't they? Because that's where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be the
Well, oh,
Instagram.
followers get you money?
Yes.
Follow me.
You got 1 million. You got some money.
Just change your tune.
Follow me, everybody.
Jazz playing
Chocolate
around.
Girl
I'm gonna feed
Wonder.
up his followers right after this. As soon as
Oh
I
yeah,
tell him.
follow him, and we're gonna I'm gonna repost your song that I like, and I'm gonna make everybody listen to it because it's dope. He still got it. All right, thank you for coming through.
We want to thank y'all for coming through. You know, for even everybody that's here. You know
everybody that's watching. Thank you too. Thank everybody from the studio audience.
We definitely want to thank Innovative Black TV for making
Thank
this possible
Innovative
for
Black
us.
Station.
We love
Thank
you,
Live
Black.
Hip Hop
This is just the
Daily.
beginning of what we're doing.
Hospitality.
Word.
Thank
and,
you. Bye
nah, go ahead.
guys.
Let Jazz close.
Oh well, we can put it in.
We
Go
like to
ahead.
do his closing thoughts with Jazz the MC, and here we go.
Now we glad to bring you this first podcast. It's a wonderful thing. Look out for the music. I got something playing on the radio now called "Here We Go." Requested. I appreciate the hospitality of everybody here today. You know, let me lounge and damn near fall asleep on this comfortable ass couch.
It is
And,
quite comfy.
Hell yeah, and you know, Kings County music.
Brooklyn, Marcy, stand up.
BK.